15 Small Japanese Habits That Can Change Your Day. There's one thing you're doing every single morning in the wrong order, and that's exactly why your energy crashes around 2 p.m. It's not about how much sleep you got. It's not even about your coffee. The problem is something much smaller and much dumber than you'd think, and in the next 2 minutes you'll know exactly what it is. This is a list of 15 tiny habits people in Japan do automatically that most of us have never even heard of. None of them are complicated. None of them ask you to overhaul your entire life. But by the time you reach number 15, you'll realize there's one 60-second trick that ties all 15 of these together into a single routine. And that's why it's worth sticking around until the end. And number 7 is the one I most want you to hear, because it's not about adding something to your day. It's about removing something that, right now, in this exact moment, is invisibly draining your energy. Quick thing before we start. If this kind of content is useful to you, hit subscribe now so you don't miss the next one. I break down small daily habits like this every week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's start from the beginning. 1. The 2-minute rule. But for your space, you've probably heard the "if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now" rule before. In Japan, though, this doesn't apply to tasks. It applies to your environment. See a cup on the table? Take it. See a jacket thrown on a chair? Hang it up. Right now, not later. Why does this matter? Every small thing you leave unfinished stays open like a background tab in your mind. You don't notice it directly, but it's quietly pulling at your attention all day. Think about someone coming home after work. They see the morning coffee cup still on the table, shoes left in the middle of the hallway, and a package that's been sitting unopened by the door for 3 days. None of these 3 things is a problem on its own. Each takes maybe 20 seconds to deal with. But while that person sits on the couch to relax, their brain is still, in the background, processing all 3. They're not consciously aware of it, but they feel restless, like something is hanging over them. Now imagine that same person handles each thing the moment they notice it. Cup in the sink, shoes on the rack, package opened and put away. That same couch, that same evening, suddenly feels a lot calmer. Nothing dramatic changed in the room, but something changed in the mind. When you close those loops immediately, your mind is calmer than you'd expect. But this next one is something you're probably doing every day, at the wrong time, and it's quietly wrecking your sleep. 2. Eat dinner earlier, not less. This has nothing to do with dieting. In Japan, dinner tends to happen much earlier than it does for most of us. The reason is simple. Your body needs to drop its core temperature to enter deep sleep, and digestion does the exact opposite. It warms you up from the inside. If you eat right before bed, your body is trying to do 2 things at once: digest and rest, and it can't do either one properly. Take someone who usually eats dinner around 10 p.m., right before going to bed at midnight. That person falls asleep, but wakes up feeling just as tired as if they hadn't slept at all, even after 7 or 8 hours in bed. That's because most of the night was spent digesting instead of in deep, restorative sleep. Now take that same person and move dinner to 7 p.m. instead, going to bed at midnight. The body now has 3 full hours to finish digesting before it even lies down, and they wake up feeling completely different. Clearer head, lighter body. Try finishing dinner at least 3 hours before bed tonight, and see the difference tomorrow morning. The next thing is what you do in the first 30 seconds of every morning, and that one move sets your mood for the entire day without you even realizing it. 3. Go outside before your phone. Every morning, before you check your phone, step outside. At least 5 minutes. A balcony, a backyard, even your front doorstep. Anywhere you can get real daylight. Your internal clock responds most strongly to natural light first thing in the morning. That's what regulates your energy, your mood, and even your sleep later that night. A phone screen in a dark room simply can't replace that. Picture 2 versions of the same morning. In the first, the moment you wake up, you grab your phone and scroll for 10 minutes in the dim light of your room, then get up. In the second, the moment you open your eyes, you step outside for 5 minutes first, look around, breathe some fresh air, and only then check your phone. People who consistently do the second version report their energy feeling more natural throughout the morning. No sharp spike followed by a crash the way a screen in the dark causes. The difference feels small in the moment, but it's felt across the whole day. And speaking of mornings, there's a reason your coffee doesn't work the way it should, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the coffee. 4. Warm water before coffee. This sounds almost too simple to matter, but try it. Every morning, before coffee, drink a glass of warm water. After sleep, your body wakes up slightly dehydrated, and most of us immediately hit it with caffeine. If you wait 60 to 90 minutes and drink water first, the caffeine works much better later on. Say someone drinks coffee the moment they wake up, before their brain is even fully awake. They get a quick burst of energy, but by 2 p.m. a crash hits. Heavy head, no focus, reaching for a second coffee or something sweet just to push through the afternoon. Now take that same person, have them drink a glass of warm water first, wait an hour and a half, then have their coffee. The caffeine has a much cleaner effect. Energy lasts longer, and there's no sharp afternoon crash. Now, this next idea goes against everything you've been taught about productivity, and yet it's the exact opposite. 5. A deliberate midday rest. Somewhere between noon and early afternoon, take 10 to 20 minutes. Eyes closed, no screens, just rest. Not sleep, just stopping completely. Your brain runs in cycles of roughly 90 to 120 minutes, and after each cycle it needs a short recovery. Push through with caffeine instead, and the cost shows up as a hard afternoon crash. Simple decisions feel heavy, you're more irritable, creativity disappears. Picture someone who works from 9 to 5 without a single real break, just a quick meal at their desk in front of a screen. By 3 p.m., they can barely form a sentence. Every email feels like a huge effort, and they make mistakes they normally wouldn't. Now picture that same person, around 1 p.m., closing their laptop for 15 minutes, closing their eyes, not touching their phone, just sitting in silence. When they get back to work, it's like they've been restarted. They handle the same tasks faster and with far less frustration. The difference isn't how much they worked, it's whether their brain got the chance to recover. The next habit only takes 30 seconds, but it changes how much you eat and how full you feel. You won't believe it until you try it. 6. Pause before you eat. Before every meal, stop for 30 seconds. Look at what's in front of you. Just register, consciously, that you're about to eat. In Japan, a short phrase of gratitude is said before meals, but the function isn't religious. It's a boundary between doing and receiving. People who do this consistently eat less, feel full sooner, and enjoy the exact same meal more. Imagine someone eating lunch at their desk, staring at a screen, finishing an entire plate in 5 minutes without really tasting any of it. Half an hour later, they still feel like snacking, even though they're physically full. Now picture that same person pausing for 30 seconds before picking up their fork, noticing the colors and smell of the food, and only then starting to eat. Same amount of food, but they feel full sooner and have far less urge to graze on something sweet afterward. And here's the bigger thing. This pause trains your mind to be present in everything else too. Here it is. Number 7. The one I said was the most important. This one isn't about adding something. It's about removing something invisible that's quietly draining your energy every day. 7. Clear the spaces around water in your home. Your sink, your bathroom counter, the area around your kitchen faucet. Think about what those spaces look like right now. In Japan, there's an idea that these spaces are a direct reflection of your mental state. Standing water, clutter, damp surfaces are believed to breed a sense of stagnation. Science reaches a similar conclusion from a different angle. Visual clutter constantly competes for your brain's attention, and over time that adds up to feeling more drained than you should. Picture a bathroom where the sink always has a bit of water pooled around the faucet, toothbrushes scattered everywhere, and a damp, crumpled towel hanging off the edge. Every morning and every night, when that person walks in, their eyes automatically register that mess. They're not consciously thinking about it, but they feel less at ease in that space than they should. Now imagine that same person keeps a small cloth right next to the faucet and wipes the sink down after every use. Within a week, that same space feels calmer, cleaner, and it's strange how much that one small detail changes the feel of the whole morning. The fix takes seconds. A cloth by every faucet, wipe it down after every use. The next thing is something you can't see, can't smell, and yet it's stealing your focus every single day. 8. Ventilate your home every morning. Open at least one window for 10 minutes, every single morning. A sealed space overnight builds up CO2 and moisture you can't always see or feel, but which affects your focus, fatigue levels, and sleep quality. In Japan, ventilation is actually required by law in new homes. It's not a trend, it's a baseline standard. Picture someone sleeping with all the windows completely shut in a well-sealed apartment. They wake up with a mild headache and a feeling of heaviness they blame on being tired or sleeping badly, even though they got a full 8 hours. Now imagine that same person opening a window for 10 minutes right after waking up. That morning heaviness simply disappears. The air in the room gets replaced, and that first cup of coffee or breakfast at the table feels noticeably better. 10 minutes in the morning and that stale air is simply gone. This next habit sounds like a waste of time, but it's actually one of the strongest ways to lower stress in minutes, not hours. 9. Go outside once a day with no purpose. Not for exercise, not for errands, just go outside for 15 minutes, no plan, no earbuds. In Japan, this is called Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing, and research shows that time in nature genuinely lowers stress hormones and blood pressure in a way indoor environments simply can't replicate. Say someone spends their entire day indoors, house, car, office, car, house, without a single moment outside without a specific reason. By the end of the day, they feel a heavy, hard-to-explain tension, even though they haven't done anything physically demanding. Now take that same person and have them step outside for 15 minutes a day. No phone, no destination, just a walk around the block or sitting in a park. That tension noticeably drops, even when nothing else about their day has changed. You don't need a forest, you just need outside. Now, picture your bedroom in your head. There's something in there that's secretly wrecking your sleep every single night, and you probably see it as completely harmless. 10. Remove work from your bedroom. Laptop on the nightstand, work notebook by the pillow, phone lighting up with notifications right next to your face. All of it, out of the bedroom. When you sleep next to your work, your brain links the space meant for rest with the stress of your responsibilities. The last thing you see before falling asleep becomes your unfinished to-do list, not calm. Picture someone who keeps their laptop open on the nightstand just in case, and a phone glowing with notifications right by the pillow. They lie down, but their eyes drift to that last unread email, and their mind keeps running through work while trying to fall asleep. Sleep comes later than it should, and it's not deep. Now picture that same person keeping their laptop in another room, charging their phone out in the hallway instead of by the bed. The bedroom becomes a space where the mind can actually switch off, and that shows up immediately in the quality of their mornings. In Japan, the bedroom is strictly for rest, nothing else. And that boundary is what actually lets your mind shut down at night. This next one might sting a little, but I guarantee you'll recognize yourself in it. 11. Dress the person you are today. This one stings a bit. Go to your closet, in your mind. How many things in there don't fit, not in size, but in who you are now? Clothes from a different job, a different life stage, a different version of you that no longer exists. Every morning when you open that closet, those clothes whisper that something is wrong with who you are right now. Picture someone who changed jobs a few years ago, from a corporate role to something more relaxed, but their closet is still full of blazers and dress shirts they never wear anymore. Every morning they open that closet, see those pieces, and feel, on some subconscious level, like they should be that old version of themselves, even though they don't live that life anymore. Once they finally sort through and donate those pieces, keeping only what they actually wear today, choosing an outfit becomes faster, easier, and strangely freeing. Like some of that pressure got lifted along with the clothes. That's not motivation. That's a wound you reopen every morning before you've even put your shoes on. Dress who you actually are today. Let the rest go. The next thing is the reason you feel mentally drained by the end of the day, even though you haven't done anything big. 12. Give every object one home. In Japan, every item has exactly one place. Not somewhere in a drawer, but a specific spot, always. When you put something away, there's zero decision-making. It goes where it always goes. Small decisions throughout the day drain the same mental resource you need for everything else. Eliminate dozens of those tiny decisions daily, and that energy comes back for the things that actually matter. Picture someone who leaves their car keys wherever. Sometimes on the kitchen table, sometimes in a jacket pocket, sometimes on a shelf by the door. Every time they leave the house, they lose a minute or two searching for them, and it triggers a small burst of frustration before they've even left the apartment. Now imagine that same person decides the keys always go on one hook by the door. No exceptions. That tiny daily frustration simply disappears. The same goes for glasses, chargers, documents. Every object with a fixed home means one less decision, every single time. That energy goes back to where you actually need it. This next one takes literally 2 minutes at night, but it changes how you feel for weeks afterward. There's even a study that backs it up. 13. 3 sentences before sleep. Not a journal, not a 20-minute gratitude list that feels like homework. Just 3 sentences. One moment from today you don't want to forget, one thing that went well, and one thing you're looking forward to tomorrow. Research shows that people who do this for as little as 2 weeks experience a lasting improvement in mood. Not because their life changed, but because what they're paying attention to changed. Picture someone who, out of habit, lies in bed at night, replaying everything that went wrong that day, the email they forgot to send, a coworker's comment that bothered them, tomorrow's looming deadline. After 2 weeks of nights like that, they feel heavier and heavier, even though nothing dramatic actually happened in their life. Now picture that same person, before sleep, writing down just 3 short sentences, one nice moment from the day, one thing that went well, and one thing they're looking forward to tomorrow. After 2 weeks, they notice they feel much lighter in the evenings, and their mornings start to feel brighter too. The second to last idea is one of those that sounds counterintuitive, because it asks you to own less, in order to feel better. 14. Own fewer things, in every category. Not a radical minimalist overhaul, just less. Fewer kitchen gadgets, fewer half-used bottles in the bathroom, fewer decorative items that just collect dust. Every object you own is something you store, move, clean, and make decisions about. Picture a kitchen with 3 different strainers, 5 coffee mugs that never all get used, and a drawer stuffed with bags that might come in handy someday. Every time that person needs something specific, they first have to dig through a pile of things they don't need. Once they cut that drawer down to just what they actually use, finding anything becomes instant, and the whole kitchen feels calmer, even though it's the exact same space. The less you own, the more time and attention is left for what actually matters to you. And here it is, the last one, the one I mentioned right at the start. The one that ties all 14 of these together into a single move, every night. 15. The 1-minute reset. Every evening, before dinner or screens, take 60 seconds and return the 3 most visible spaces in your home to their starting state. Wipe the counter, straighten the cushions, put your bag where it belongs. 60 seconds. This is what actually prevents clutter from building up to the point where it takes an entire weekend to undo. That feeling of "I need to deal with the house" doesn't come from one single mess. It comes from small things piling up, day after day. Picture someone skipping this for a few days in a row because they're tired. The small pile turns into a bigger one. The bigger one turns into chaos. And by Saturday, the whole apartment feels like a project instead of a home. That person then sacrifices an entire day off just to get the place back in order. Now picture that same person, every single evening without exception, taking those 60 seconds, table wiped, cushions straightened, bag hung up. Saturday morning looks completely different. No chaos to clean up, just free time to actually enjoy. Those 60 seconds close that loop every single evening before it ever has the chance to pile up. And that's it. 15 tiny things, none of them cost $1, and you can start every single one of them today, within the next hour. Your life doesn't need to be rebuilt from the ground up. It just needs a few small corrections that nobody ever pointed out to you before. Now seriously, tell me in the comments, which of these 15 is your life missing the most? The one you've known for years you should be doing, but never quite started? Drop the number, 1 through 15, below. Someone reading your comment might see themselves in it too. And if this even slightly helped you, share it with one person you think deserves an easier day. And before you go, if you haven't already, subscribe. There's a new one of these every week, and you don't want to miss the next list. See you in the next one.